Hey there. Welcome back again. Manchester United signed Sekou Kone during the summer transfer window, and the 18-year-old Mali youth international was involved in first-team training on Tuesday at Carrington transfer deadline day. Signing Sekou Kone was seen in Manchester United first-team training ahead of the club's trip to take on Fenerbahce. The Red Devils are taking a patient approach with the 18-year-old, who they signed from Guidars FC, for a fee in the region of £1 million, beating competition from Ajax and other clubs around Europe. The central midfielder has spent time training with United's under-21s, but is not considered as an academy player. Kone has yet to make an appearance for the club at any level since his arrival, and the club are keen to patiently manage his acclimatization. It is said the Mali youth international will play for United's second string before the end of this season, but it seems he is receiving some time under Erik Ten Hag's watchful eye. The youngster worked with the club's first team on Tuesday and was pictured alongside fellow summer signing Joshua Zirkzee. Kone is a central midfielder who has seen his ball-winning skill and stamina praised and can be used in a defensive role. It is said he also holds attacking qualities and has been likened to former Barcelona and Manchester City midfielder Yaya Toure. United confirmed the signing of Kone on August 30th, ahead of the transfer window closing. A deal was said to be done for in the region of £1 million. The club acted on their interest after scouting the Under-17 World Cup in 2023, where Kone's Mali side finished third. It is reported after this tournament, the teenager was identified as a player of significant interest. Kone was signed from Malian side Guidars, who are based in Bamako. The youth star was a graduate of JMG Academy, a training company established by French international Jean-Marc Guillou. The former player has 9 academies, including setups in Ivory Coast, Egypt, Thailand, and Vietnam. Given United's patience thus far, it is probably unlikely Kone will be involved against former United boss Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce side. The defensive midfielder is instead expected to play for the club's youth team before the end of the year as he adjusts to life in England. Erik Ten Hag does have a number of absentees in his midfield, however. Bruno Fernandes is suspended for the Europa League match, while Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount, Toby Collier, and Dan Gore were all unavailable against Brentford. A close eye will be kept on Wednesday's open training sessions in a bid to discover the Portuguese star's replacement. Despite injury worries, Ten Hag is looking forward to taking on Mourinho and would like to meet up with the ex-Premier League manager. Probably, yeah, but it's like a big game for both of us, he said. I really enjoy to face him, to play against him. He always has good teams, and he is a winner. He has won so many trophies, and I think is an example for many managers. So I really enjoy to play against him. As we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Erik Ten Hag has stopped the bleeding for now, but Zinedine Zidane could be called upon if Manchester United suffer any more wounds. Ten Hag's men came from behind to secure a vital 2-1 home victory over a dangerous Brentford side this weekend after Alejandro Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund found the net to cancel out Ethan Pinnock's first-half opener. United have started the season abysmally, and another defeat could have been one too many for Ten Hag. He has already been granted a stay of execution as a meeting between United's top executives in London concluded with Ten Hag remaining in his post. However, the Dutchman's managerial life hasn't always been this hard. In fact, the roles were reversed in 2019 when his exciting Ajax side arrived at the Bernabeu to face a Real Madrid team stuttering under Santiago Solari. They were flailing, but a side featuring Luka Modric, Vinicius Jr., Karim Benzema, and many more were expected to navigate their way past a club who had not progressed from a Champions League knockout tie in 22 years. Yet the Amsterdam Giants humiliated Real on their own pitch, destroying them 4-1 to send the then 13-time European champions tumbling out of the competition at the round of 16 stage. Los Blancos' chief Florentino Perez immediately picked up the phone and pleaded with Zidane to return to the club. The legendary midfielder took his time to consider his options. Solari would manage one more game, a 4-1 victory over Real Valladolid, but the battering Ajax gave them made up his mind. A premature exit from the Champions League is difficult enough, but the manner in which Ten Hag's team pulled the European giants apart on their own field consigned Solari to the sack. At the time, it was believed that Zidane was interested in returning to the club, but not until the end of that campaign. Ten Hag's men significantly sped up that process, and he was back in the dugout within a matter of weeks, not months. Unfortunately for the 54-year-old, he is now in a similar position to Solari. The victory over Brentford will be a confidence boost, but there were times when he, once again, looked beleaguered and helpless as he watched his side run back towards their own goal, while opposition players looked for the kill. It could be said that Ten Hag now knows how Solari felt as the likes of Dusan Tadic, Hakim Ziyech, Frenkie de Jong, and Donny van de Beek hared down on the Real Madrid defense. Zidane has not managed since he left Real Madrid for a second time at the end of the 2020-21 campaign. He has been linked with a move to Old Trafford numerous times, but has never looked close to taking up the reins on the red side of Manchester. Ten Hag will be desperately hoping his side can use any momentum that was amassed from the victory over the London side. His side will need it, as they will walk into the cauldron that is the Şükrü Saracoğlu Stadium to face Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahçe side in the Europa League on Thursday, before traveling to the capital to face West Ham 3 days later. United are floundering in Europe and the Premier League, and anything less than 2 victories would see them lose even more ground. Fortunately for Ten Hag, he may not have to worry about looking over his shoulder to see if Zidane is there. As the Frenchman has previously said, his lack of fluency in speaking English may put him off managing in England. In 2022, he told L'Équipe, "If I go to a club, it's to win." I say this in all modesty. That's why I can't go anywhere. For other reasons, too, I might not be able to go everywhere. Which ones? The language, for example. Certain conditions make things more difficult. Would I want to go to Manchester United? I understand English, but I'm not completely fluent in it. I know that there are coaches who go to clubs without speaking the language, but I work in a different way. Hey, welcome back again. Leading Premier League injury expert Ben Dinnery believes Tyrell Malacia may not make a full return for Manchester United until next season. The Dutch left-back arrived at Old Trafford in July 2022 from Feyenoord on a 4-year deal for €15 million, £12.9 million, with a potential €2 million in further add-ons. Malacia made 39 appearances in his first season for the Reds, becoming an able deputy to Luke Shaw, but he has not played since due to a knee problem. The 25-year-old underwent surgery, but that did not go as planned, and he continues to work his way back to full fitness after undergoing another operation on the issue. Recent reports in the Dutch media have claimed that Malacia is very close to playing again and could even return to action by the end of October. However, Dinny believes Malacia's full return to first-team action is still some way off. "I think he will be gradually integrated," he said. "I think we're probably looking at around about maybe 17 months. I'm sure it was around July last year when we last saw him. We're approaching around 15 or 16 months now. Like I said, he could be in and around that first-team squad and training with the group and getting that experience, but is he going to be pushing consistently for a start in that first team? Highly unlikely, particularly if you get some of those other players back in that United team." Dinnery also believes Shaw's availability is likely to set Malacia's return back further. The English fullback has yet to play for United this season, but Erik Ten Hag is hopeful of having his first-choice left-back available for selection soon. "Reintegration in the team needs to be managed very, very carefully," he added. Your question then is, does that coincide with the return of Shaw? Is he a player who would ordinarily be considered your first-choice left-back when everybody's fit? Probably not. His opportunities within that first team, and certainly minutes-wise, are probably going to be limited anyway, just in terms of depending upon the personnel available within that United squad. Ultimately, do I see Malacia being able to perform regularly at optimum levels in that United first team when everybody else is sort of fit and available on that left-hand side? Unfortunately not. It could be that we see him on the fringes of that first team squad, really just getting a feel of being back in that environment, and then ultimately getting a really solid preseason under his belt in 25-26, and then really sort of pushing and competing for a spot in that team.